After transforming my physique and almost getting rid of all the visceral fat on my body, this is exactly what I would do if I had to start from zero. Now, the first thing I would do is follow some sort of a high protein green Mediterranean diet. This particular diet has been shown to be one of the best diets in the world at eliminating visceral fat. I would make sure that my protein is at least 0.8 to 1 grams per pound, and I would also make sure that I put my meals on a schedule so I almost regulate my hunger throughout the day. The next thing I would do would be 3 full body resistance training sessions a week. And the reason being is when you are losing visceral fat and when you're losing any type of weight, you want that weight to be fat. You don't want it to be muscle. Muscle is our longevity organ. It is essential to so many processes in our body that it would take an entire video to just explain it. The most important part about muscle is that it drives our metabolism. There's so many times I've seen people lose a ton of weight in the wrong way and also lose a ton of muscle. Now, in terms of cardio, I wouldn't do what most people do, is like go jogging for like 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers and think that's gonna burn fat. I actually think that's like the worst way to lose fat. What I would do is I would make sure that I'm walking at least 10K to 15K steps per day. This type of walking is amazing for your stress levels, which reduces cortisol, and it's also been shown to be a net positive at burning visceral fat as well. And maybe a little bit deeper when I start to get a little bit healthier, I would add some high intensity vigorous training or sprinting to my program. This type of cardio has been shown to be a net positive at removing visceral fat from our bodies. And the final thing is I would consider myself to be a sleep athlete. I would use some sort of sleep tracker to make sure that I'm headed in the right direction, and I would make sure I'm focusing on quality and quantity. I'm getting at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, and I'm also making sure that I am sleeping throughout the night, which means setting up your environment, taking supplements like magnesium glycinate and glycine, and even taping my mouth if I'm a mouth breather, which a lot of people are. And the knot that's gonna tie the bow together is making sure I am tracking the numbers that mean the most to me. So I would check your waist to height ratio, making sure that's under 50%. I would track my weight and my waistline because those are gonna be the most important numbers to getting your visceral fat down. What you measure is what you manage. So visceral fat is like the most dangerous fat that we have in the body. We want to get rid of it. You don't have to get to zero, but you do want to make sure that you don't have unhealthy levels of visceral fat. And if you want a guide on how to eliminate visceral fat from your body, just put lean in the comments below and I'll send it to you for free.